As somebody that talks a lot about fertility awareness and being careful with fertility tracking apps, I have a couple of examples that I just came across that I really want to share with you. I'm personally not a big fan of natural cycles because I've tried it myself. It has failed me in the past, and I've seen many charts since then, and these 4 charts that I'm sharing with you today are also from natural cycles, and they're just so problematic. I have to share with you and spread some awareness on it. So let's look at this first chart right here. The question mark indicates where I find it problematic because the app indicated that she ovulated on cycle day 18 and then therefore marked her as no longer fertile from cycle day 22 forward to whatever that day is now. There's no ovulation on cycle day 18 because there's no sustained temperature rise that is taking place. I think what happens here on cycle day 37 and 38, that's where the temperature rise is actually happening. I'm looking at my laptop here, that's why I'm looking over, but I have the chart in front of me and you have it here on the screen. So that's the first chart that I came across. I'm like, immediately, okay, we're no longer fertile, but she has not yet ovulated. This seems like a really big red flag if somebody is trying to avoid a pregnancy. Let's look at this one right here. Question mark again, where I find it very problematic. She's having a couple of infertile days in the middle of her follicular phase. It appears to be completely random. There is no sustained temperature rise beforehand. She has not ovulated yet in that cycle and during that time when she was given infertile days. So that is a big red flag if somebody is trying to avoid a pregnancy. You cannot just have some random infertile days in the middle of your cycle, especially if you're not paying attention to cervical fluid, which I know the app is not taking into account. Let's look at this chart right here. I wrote the question mark for that first high temperature because it already was indicated as an infertile day. This is problematic because with fertility awareness, we know that ovulation can happen before the temperature rise takes place or up to 2 days of the first high temperatures. So having indicated that cycle day 29 is already infertile, we cannot guarantee that because the app does not know if the egg has actually been released at that point yet. So it's very risky to already assume that that first high temperature is already infertile for somebody that has been charting for birth control. And last cycle right here, this chart is also problematic because it is indicating that on cycle day 30, she is infertile. However, there's no indicator that she has actually already ovulated because there's no temperature rise in sight. So we cannot say that cycle day 27 was actually her ovulation day. Again, natural cycle is just guessing the ovulation date based on past data and past cycle length. And there's no temperature rise. So that's a really big red flag, especially as a device that is also tracking your basal body temperature. You would think that at least we're waiting for that temperature rise to happen to confirm anything. But it appears that natural cycles did not do that in this case, and that is problematic for somebody that wants to avoid a pregnancy.